So welcome to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Alf, would you like to show your face? I don't think Celine has seen you.
Excuse all the music and the usual technology bits. Yeah, that's my background, okay?
Well, that's good. It shows there's a lot going on in your brain. That's fine.
Too much.
Too much, okay. Now, Alf is a technology and cybersecurity expert, and he will be listening from an investing point of view, but also from a security point of view. So I suppose what we're trying to do is ask questions that people who are watching this video will want to know the answers to. So if we end up playing devil's advocate, please don't feel please don't feel sensitive about it. It's just that if anyone's going to put their money somewhere, they want to know what are the risks and what are the rewards, okay? If you can give rewards as well in terms of numerical figures, like give an example of what you started with and what you ended up getting, for instance, also in a typical day, what was your best day earnings, you know, that kind of thing. But also talk about losses as well, because, you know, everything isn't always rosy in the garden, we know. So let's be real, but we also want to encourage people to invest, because a lot of times we're talking about having a job, earning money, but most people are actually spending all their money. I know some people don't have that choice because the money they get in doesn't really cover their bills. But one of the things that Black economics needs to do is to encourage people to save and to invest and to grow that money, you know, and we're hoping that the two of you will help us to get that message across. All right, so welcome to Premium Bells and welcome to Celilne Akigwe. Did I get that right?
That's perfect. Well done. Yay.
Okay, good. I'm so pleased. Welcome to both these guests, and Alf Allen is also on the line, who will be listening in and asking questions later on. Thank you for joining us today. We will be talking about Forex and Bitcoins and crypto coins and investment and how useful is investment in this day and age. We're going to start off with Premium Bells. This is his trading name. He will introduce himself and then talk to us about Forex and Bitcoins. Over to you now, Premium Bells.
Yeah, I mean, so my name is Yusuf Bello. Premium Bells is sort of the, it's just my branding name. Bells came from my last name, Bello. But yeah, I've been involved in the trading industry for about 3 years. And prior to this, I was working full-time as a recruitment consultant in central London. And I was doing that for a few years. But I always knew from probably about 7 years ago when I read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, I knew from there that working a job wasn't something I wanted to do long term. I did want to get into entrepreneurship. I did want to one day, you know, become self-made, own a business, but I just didn't know how to people have the. And long story short, I just got a random call from a friend of mine that I used to work with. This was 3 years ago now. And he said, Bells, you know, I think I found a way where we can make more money than we could potentially make in our jobs, but we could be working from home with no boss, right? And I was like, this sounds very, very interesting. And so, you know, he got me to actually speak to one of his mentors who was a trader. I didn't really understand much about trading. I've actually never heard of the industry before. I've heard of Forex, but I just never knew how it worked. But what I did know was there was a lot of people making a lot of money, and it was sort of money that I can never make in a job. So I decided to, you know, get involved and pay for mentorship. And long story short, within my first, I'd say about 4 to 5 months, you know, in my trading journey, I was able to walk away from my job at the time. And, you know, my first 3 years of trading, 2.5 years, I was able to help my mum walk away from her job. Okay, so for me, it's been a pretty rewarding journey. There's been ups and downs as well. That's my story now. And of course, now I'm in a position where I've managed to build a network, you know, a business where I'm actually coaching people on how to trade as well now, which is, you know, something I do alongside trading, which is actually the coaching side. So that's been my journey so far. I'm from London. I grew up in East London, and yeah, prior to getting involved in trading, I wasn't really doing anything special. I was literally just working a normal job. But as soon as I saw the opportunity, I really wanted to kind of grab it with both hands. So, and here we are today. So yeah, but if there's anything in particular, because Forex is a pretty broad topic, but if there's anything in particular that, you know, that you guys would like me to speak about, then we can kind of go.
How easy did you find it to trade Forex when you first started?
That's a good question. Learning Forex isn't that difficult. The concept is very simple, and the best way to describe the concept of trading is, you know, 4 years ago, I went over to Spain. I had £500, and of course, in Spain they use euros, in the UK we use pounds. So I had to exchange my pounds into euros in order to spend any money out in Spain. So I had £500, I exchanged it into euros. At that given time, they gave me about 700 euros for my money. And I stayed in Spain for about a week. I spent everything on a credit card. So by the time I came back, I still had the same 700 euros that I exchanged my money into. And so I had to exchange it back into pounds a week later. And I was expecting them to give me £500 because that's the money that I started with. But they gave me about £520. So that was my first ever experience in actually making money through trading currencies. But that's pretty much how it works. You know, you're trading one currency into another, and you're waiting for the exchange rate to change in your favor, and you're re-exchanging back for, you know, more money than what you started with. You're re-exchanging back at a better price. And so the concept is simple to understand. That is pretty much the concept of trading. And learning maybe a strategy or learning a system of how to trade is very, very easy, easy steps that you can learn that may take you only a couple of weeks to really pick up. But I think the most difficult bit is the psychological part. I believe 10 to 20% of trading is a technical aspect, but then 80 to 90% is like the psychological part of like your discipline, your risk management, knowing when to stop trading, over leveraging, like all these things. So I think the technical aspect is quite easy to pick up. The mental aspect, for me, that took me like a couple of years to really like really become consistent as a trader and really be disciplined. That took me a couple of years. That bit was difficult. Yeah.
Okay. Could you give us an idea what was your biggest loss in a day?
Oh my God. Early on, I think it was about 500 pounds. I had maybe about 700 in my account at that time, and I blew 500. So for anybody that knows about trading, that's not trading, that's gambling. You shouldn't be losing any more than 1 to 3% of your balance per trade. And I pretty much lost most of my balance in one trade. And I remember it vividly. Actually, it was somebody that I was trading with alongside in a platform, and this was a very early on in my days, and he was, you know, considered a very good trader. And so he basically told me about a trade that he was getting into. It was Euro USD, and he said, this is going to drop, so you want to start selling at this price. And what lot size he used. And if you're a trader, you know, lot size means the amount of money you're putting in per movement in the market. And obviously his account was different from mine, but I didn't understand this at the time. He also had a much bigger account than I did. So he said, you know, I put in 2 standard lots, which is basically £20 per movement in the market. And so I got in on 2 standard lots with my £500 account, with my £700 account, which you're not supposed to do. you should probably be using maybe a 0.05, and I was using a 2.00, which was like maybe, I don't know, 10 times the amount I'm supposed to use. And then the market just started going up, you know, when I was expecting it to drop. And I remember like literally just like sweating on texting the guy. I'm like, yo, like, what's going on? Are you in the trade? He was like, yeah, I'm in the trade, like it's gonna drop. Just relax. And I'm thinking my account is almost blown. And it was about maybe 45 minutes later, I'm just looking at the screen, and eventually it hit my stop loss. And I lost £500 on that trade. So that was my first lesson on like understanding, the element of risk management. So I'd say that's the most I've actually lost one time in a trade. But then other than that, you got to think about big balance. Losing 500, it could be a very normal thing in trading, if that makes sense, if you've got the right balance for it. So the reason why I gave that example is because that was considered a bad thing in trading. Because I only had 7 rounds. So losing 500 at 700 is that's not supposed to be the case.
It's a good job you had a stop loss.
Yeah, I mean, there was only £200 left anyway, so it wouldn't have been much difference. I pretty much blew my account. But yeah.
So you were expecting the currency to fall, and it went up. So after the stop loss was hit, did it decide to change in your direction afterwards?
I don't even remember, because I was upset. I didn't trade for 2 days. I didn't look at the markets. I didn't even speak to the guy anymore. I was like, you lost my money. But also I was playing new, so I was playing the blame game. It was completely my fault. Like, I wasn't managing my risk. So
okay, and then once you got comfortable with trading and you knew what you were doing, what would you say would be an amount you could earn in one day once you got comfortable with trading? What's the best that you feel that you could do?
I always talk in percentages, because trading is different for everyone, monetary wise. So that's why we always talk in percentages, because I can say, on a good day I can make, I don't know, 500-600 in a day, but that doesn't mean anything to somebody that hasn't got maybe access to the that I may have, if that makes sense. So we always talk about percentage growth, right? And with my current style of trading in a binary game, my growth is about 3% per day.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah, if you've got 1,000 in a trading account, that's like £30 in a day. And of course, you just compound it. When your account grows to 2,000 in a day, you can make like £60. When it grows to 5,000 in a day, you can make about £150. When it grows to 10K, you can make like £200 in a day. So yeah, 3% per day is my current like growth now on a binary side. But before, on a Forex side, it's a little bit slower. It was about 10% per week, which is what I was consistent in my account by.
Okay. Well, over 5 days, that's a little less, I suppose, because 3% for 5 days is 15%.
There we go.
Okay, so when you said on the binary side, is that with options?
Yep, that's options trading.
Okay, tell us now about the options side, because that's a different method of trading, isn't it?
Yeah, options is time-based trading, meaning, when you get into a trade, you can put a time limit on a trade of, let's say, 1, 2, or 3 minutes, and so you literally just need to get the direction of the market right within a space of 1, 2, or 3 minutes. So it's what you call like a very aggressive scalping style of trading, where you're just looking for very, very short movements in the market. And then let's say, I don't know, we're looking at Euro USD. We forecast that Euro is going to gain strength over the dollar. Then we'll put in a buy order. And as long as the market within 1 to 3 minutes, whatever time frame we put, moves above the price that we bought at, it doesn't matter how far or low it moves. As long as it just finishes above that price that we bought at, then we'll make a profit. And the amount we make is a fixed amount. Before we even get into the trade, we know exactly what we're going to make. And it's usually about 70% of whatever you put in. So you put in £10 into the trades, you'll make £7 off the trade. You put in £100 in the trade, you'll make £70 off that trade in terms of profit. So that's kind of how binary works. So you can make money a lot faster in binary. but then you can also lose money a lot faster in binary as well.
Okay, that's very interesting. Yes, I've heard of binary options. So, but I've also heard that it's quite risky as well.
It's not, when people say risky, that's a misconception. Just because you can lose money faster, it doesn't mean it's riskier. Your risk is still the same. I still risk 1% of my balance per trade. So the risk is completely down to you. The risk's different. That's a different subject, but it's not riskier than trading traditional forex. It's a different style.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever looked into weekly options or monthly options?
Nah. I trade. I'm a 3-minute trader, so I'm gonna trade for about. And then there's what you call an option to roll over if you need more time. So at times my trade will go into 6 minutes, maximum 12 minutes, and I'm out of trade. I'm not in a trade no longer than 12 minutes.
Okay. All right. A question from Alf. Do you think that AI will replace traders?
No. Trading always needs some to it, because when you look at the trading in general, it's humans that are trading money. Whether you're sending money abroad, whether you're, transactions from one country to another, whether it's big companies, making a big trade that's affecting the market, could be the government that's affecting the market. So there's so many different variables that affect the market, where artificial intelligence can work for a period of time, but you're always going to need a human element to actually execute a trade and be consistent. And trading is always changing. Like every 6 months or so, trends in the market can start to change. So you're always going to have to adapt. So yeah, I don't believe AI will fully take over, but it does help. I use softwares that help me find trades, but I still need to use my own analysis to figure out if I want to get in a trade or not. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So if anybody wanted to get into Forex, what would you suggest that they do?
Find somebody who's got results, which is easy to say. It's more difficult to do because social media now, everyone's a trader. Everyone's a trader on social media, and there's a lot of conflicts of interest in terms of people providing information online for free, people claiming to be traders and selling different courses. It's quite difficult to really gauge who's real and who's not. So I definitely say, number one, you definitely need to find a mentor, someone who's got results, but then you need to, do your due diligence around who you're actually going to choose as a mentor. Make sure that that person's got, a proven track record. Maybe do some due diligence, and yeah, try and read between the lines when you're looking on social media. For me, it's obvious to see somebody is, probably, a legit trader, or if somebody's just getting a bogus course that you can kind of find online. So you got to do a bit of research around who's going to mentor you.
Okay. And if people want to contact you directly because they're trusting you, they've heard you for the last 15 minutes and think, I could learn from this guy, how do they contact you?
Yeah, either via Instagram, Premium Bells. My YouTube as well is Premium Bells. And I've got, content on YouTube of how I actually trade. So usually people can actually see that on my YouTube, and then, they'll be able to see that I'm able to trade because the results are there on YouTube. And in that way, people can get in contact, usually through Instagram.
Okay, great. All right, now, Bitcoins. Tell me what you know about Bitcoins.
So me, I'm more heavily focused on trading in the Forex market. With cryptos, I invest for the long term. So I do here and there trade short term. Bitcoin, you can also trade it. Ethereum, you could trade it. There's other cryptos you could trade. But I'm more about actually investing for the long term. And I spend my actual day trading time in the Forex market. So Bitcoin's crazy, and it's something that a lot of people know about, but not a lot of people actually capitalize on it or really understand it. And it's basically a digital currency. If you look back to how the world's evolving, it just makes sense, what's happening and what's about to happen. In terms of trading, we used to, before currencies, we used to do, I don't know, like a chair for a table. I'll trade you my chair for your table. Okay. Or if you wanted to, I don't know, buy some food, I'll trade you, I don't know, a bit of land for your flock of food, whatever it is. That's how money was exchanged. There was no currencies. And then we moved on to actual gold. Gold was the standard. And then you had, your coins, right? Different countries had different coins. Then we moved on to paper money, and then we moved on to plastic, your credit cards, your debit cards. Then we moved on to contactless, right? And you could pay for stuff with contactless. And then we even moved on to, you could pay for stuff using your smartphone, right? So we're basically going digital, and cryptocurrency is basically a universal payment system. So it doesn't matter what country you're in, you can use a crypto, to pay for things globally around the world. And different cryptos are used for different things. Okay, the different cryptos used for different things. But the part where you can make money from crypto is basically the more it's been used in the world, and the more people actually either buy it or send it across, the value now goes up the more it's used. Okay, so if you look at Bitcoin in 2010, I can't remember exactly how much it was worth, but if you put in, let's say, if you bought $100 worth of Bitcoin in 2010, today that same $100 is now worth about 45 million. So in the last 10, 11 years, people became wealthy beyond their wildest dreams because they understood the value of Bitcoin. And that's just Bitcoin. There's other currencies, because obviously now Bitcoin is worth like, it was about 60K, it's dropped a bit now, in dollars. But even the richest man on the planet, Elon Musk, he invested over into Bitcoin just a month ago. And that says it all. If the richest man in the world is putting in $1 billion of his money into a Bitcoin, why is he doing that? It's because there's still more room to grow in terms of the value of Bitcoin. So a lot of big companies are now invested into cryptos. They're now using it for like international payment systems, faster payment systems. It's cheaper as well. So yeah, cryptos, for me, I don't trade it really, but I definitely have money put away into some coins for the long term.
What makes you choose a particular crypto coin?
You got to do research around it. Who's backing it? What companies are invested into it? The market cap for that coin. I mean, it's something that you want to study. I'm actually lucky. I've received mentorship from individuals that took advantage of Bitcoin 10 years ago, and they've made their fortune. They've made like multiple millions just off the growth of Bitcoin alone. And they're professionals in the industry, and I get to leverage their experience, leverage their knowledge. So I basically seek counsel from those who are experienced and understand it, a lot more than I do. And then I just put in whatever money I'm willing to, right? Whatever money I don't necessarily need, then I'll put a certain amount away into crypto, like maybe every week into different cryptos.
Okay, that's great. All right, well, that's very interesting. All right, so thank you for that. We are going to hear from Celilne now, but please stay on the line with us, Premium Bells. There might be questions that you two can ask each other later on, and we'll have a discussion all together at the end. So thank you very much, Yusuf. You did really well. And, over to you now, Celilne.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you so much for inviting me to your program. Wonderful information from Premium Bells. Bello, thank you for that. I'm a crypto enthusiast. I go by the name of Crypto Celine. I have a London crypto network, so I'm sure we're going to cross paths very soon in the near future. So I've been involved in cryptocurrency for a while now, since 2017. In fact, I was one of the late adopters. I always say that because even though, even though we have, Bitcoin is 10 years old or 12 years old, I always say, that if you got in the 2017 bull run, we're getting in late. But no doubt in 10 years' time, there'll still be people coming in at the $100,000, $300,000, $500,000 level. Okay. Now, So what I do, I started in 2017, and I came up with an acronym. When I created London Crypto Network, I came up with Be Free. Be Free stands for be economically empowered with financial residuals and eternal earnings. And so that's the key message that I'm trying to deliver, that I am delivering to my people, to people of African descent. There's a lot of misconception about cryptocurrency, that I hear some of my people saying, oh, it's a white man's thing and all of this kind of thing. And I'd have to tell them, no, it's a people thing. Cryptocurrency was invented to free the people from the clutches of the central bank, okay, and corrupt governments, okay. When we had the credit crunch in 2008, 2009, the bankers were gambling with our money. You know what my man Bello was talking about, people risking high leveraged, high risk bets, gambling with people's money, taxpayers' money. That's what the banks did, and they lost their bets, and they couldn't pay or fulfill their orders at the end of the day. And that's what caused the banking crisis. And so as a result, the government response was to bail them out with our money. So they used our money to gamble. And all those years beforehand, they were gambling with our money. And they didn't pay us a penny. How much did your bank give you out of all the trillions of dollars per day that they were winning, that they were collecting with using our money, taxpayers' money, to invest? And so when people start to understand how the mechanisms of the financial system works, how corrupt it is, then there's a light bulb moment that will happen with every individual when they realize that cryptocurrency is the solution to bringing the power back into the hands of the people, okay? Because there's no central authority that has any, what's the word I'm looking for? They have no control over your cryptocurrency, whether you can buy it. They can't control whether you buy it. They can't control whether you send it. They can't control if you receive cryptocurrency. They cannot control it. The only thing they are trying to do right now, and have been doing for the past, say, 5 years, is control the cryptocurrency exchanges. So when you hear people like Christine Lagarde talking about banning cryptocurrency, or the African government saying that the central banks cannot transact with cryptocurrency companies, just know that that's the only thing they can do, is persecute registered businesses who operate in the cryptocurrency field. They cannot delete Bitcoin, they cannot, ban it, and they cannot stop people from using it. Okay, so that's a very important point, because there's a lot of confusion out there, especially with what the mainstream media are talking about. And so when we realize the potential and we harness that potential, we end up coming up with things like this. Like, sorry, not that. Not that. You can follow me. Yeah, that's supposed to be at the end. Sorry. So you can follow me before I go into the main bulk of it. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, London Crypto Network. or LCN-_BC. Yes.
Hello and welcome to the Kingdom of Oduwa. I'm Pamela Anchang. Do you know that blockchain technology, Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are changing the way financial transactions flow today? China, US banks and other sovereign countries are already in transition into the use of blockchain for their currency transactions. However, when it comes to Africa, you must have been wondering how blockchain technology will serve and help Africans integrate the global economy. We all know that Africa has multiple countries, different currencies with multiple problems that could make them very challenging to integrate financially. I am happy to inform you that is no longer a challenge. Oduwa Blockchain Solutions, a company co-founded by an African from the ancient kingdom of Benin, has a solution. These strategies from the powerful kingdom of traders from the 14th century has delivered the answer to Africa's problem of financial inclusion with the most efficient, secure, and accountable blockchain platform for shoppers, merchants, remittance, and payment settlements. I am honored to introduce to you the CEO and co-founder of Oduwa Blockchain Solutions, Mr. Bright Enabulele, a software engineer, blockchain strategist, and serial entrepreneur who started investing in Bitcoin since 2010.
My vision has been to create a solution to integrate the common man into the use of cryptocurrency, as well as help the underserved communities of the world, especially Africa, where everyone, anywhere with a cell phone, can have access to a wider global digital economy.
Excellent. So that's the introduction to Oduwa Coin. Now, Oduwa Coin is not just a coin, it's a blockchain. And what that has done is given us the capacity to address the numerous problems that we face in the continent and in the Caribbean and in the Southern Hemisphere in general, not forgetting our brothers and sisters in South America. You know, we have limited access to traditional banking systems, and the currency that we have, our local currency, is always dictated, the value is always dictated by outside influences. And so the transaction fees, when we're sending money to Africa or back home, the transaction fees, they are huge. They can be really high, and it makes it even more difficult to keep sending that money back. And we've recently experienced central banks blocking remittances to countries like Nigeria. And so the high cost of equipment for regular payment gateways increases the fixed capital for businesses that are trying to set up and get started. And so what Oduwa does is it gives us the solution for the merchant and the shopper alike. And the solution is achieved through the use of the Oduwa Pay mobile phone wallet. It gives us a cashless payment system. We can send Oduwa Coin from Oduwa Pay wallet to Oduwa Pay wallet anywhere in the world for free, okay? And it's a very good store of value. And with Oduwa Coin, there's even a stable coin, Oduwa ODT coin, OWT is the acronym for the stable coin. OWC is the acronym for the Oduwa coin, and that's the coin that's listed on the coinmarketcap.com. So you can download the wallet from Google Play Store or from the App Store. When you download, there is a process that you need to go through to register your wallet. For your Oduwa Pay wallet. There's also a QT wallet, a mining wallet. And so if you want to mine Oduwa, you can mine Oduwa. So I know that, people that are long-term investors, they will love to mine. Now, unlike the blockchain is built in the same secure and open source environment as the Bitcoin blockchain. But there are a few improvements that have been made on the Oduwa blockchain. So the transaction speeds are very fast and secure. So usually on a Bitcoin blockchain, it would take about 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes, or even more sometimes if there's a lot of congestion for people to receive their transactions. But on the Oduwa blockchain, it arrives to its destination within minutes. Okay, so you can, and also when you're mining Bitcoin, that means that you're basically keeping a computer on, and your computer is a node. It's called a node. And the computer is basically the program, the device, a piece of equipment, the mining equipment that you would have to purchase, which is quite expensive these days. You know, to mine Bitcoin, you would have to purchase that equipment, hook it up to your computer, keep it all running 24/7. It will make quite a bit of noise, and you know, it needs to be kept at a certain temperature, and you know, so. It's not very user-friendly, you know, and it uses a lot of electricity. So when you mine or do a coin, all you do is you download the Qt wallet and you connect to the blockchain. You back up your wallet and connect to the blockchain, and then you just stake. You just send your Oduwa coin to your mining wallet, and you just hold it there. And it will start mining for you. It will do the mining on a proof of stake mining. That's what you call proof of stake mining. And so when you do that, you get paid to hold your Oduwa coin in your wallet. So the more that you stake, the more that you will earn. With Oduwa, it's an ecosystem. So not only do we have the blockchain, the Oduwa coin, we also have the Oduwa Pay wallet. We also have the Oduwa Career Institute. So people can learn how or graduate on their MBA program, online MBA programs through Oduwa Career Institute. There are a number of programs, courses on there. So you can tap into that resource to upgrade your skills, or you can even become an affiliate. If you know people that want to study online, pass them through the Oduwa Career Institute using your affiliate link, and you will get a percentage of the commission from the course fee. Okay, so you can find out more about that on oduwacareerinstitute.com. Now, for people that want to buy larger sums of Oduwa coin to stake, you can actually insure your initial investment. So the initial amount that you use to purchase Oduwa coin, you can have that amount insured against the volatility of the market. Okay, and so which is great. So we only recommend this for larger investors, not people that are buying a couple of hundred Oduwa coin. We're talking about people that will buy, you know, 10,000 a year Oduwa, 5,000 Oduwa coin, something like that. Then it's worthwhile taking out the insurance policy, and that will give you 100% protection guaranteed. And so we have another affiliate program. So the Oduwa Institute is like a university. So that is one project within the Oduwa ecosystem. We also have an affiliate program that is currently in beta testing phase, and it's about to launch very soon, where if you invite your friends to buy and use Oduwa coin, you will get 10% for every person you introduce. Okay, because what we're trying to do here is to raise the profile of Oduwa coin and get more people into the community buying and using Oduwa coin. So if you have family back home and you need to send them some money, tell them to download their Oduwa Pay wallet, tell them to register their account their wallet on oduwa.org, and then get them to send you their Oduwa Pay, their Oduwa Coin wallet address. And then all you would need to do is purchase Oduwa Coin at a discount, because we've got a private pool that we're offering a discount on the coin. And so if you do that, you will be able to mine Oduwa, and you will be able to refer people, as well as get more people to adopt the coin, because the more people that adopt the coin, the higher the price will go. It's built just the same way as Bitcoin, in that there were 21 million Oduwa coins created when the blockchain went live on the Genesis block, and there will never be more than 21 million. Okay, so the circulating supply is around 4.5 million Oduwa coins. So there's loads of Oduwa coin to mine. So the more people that are mining, the more the circulating supply will increase. And when the circulating supply increases, that has an effect on the price. And so that's why we've experienced a big frenzy with Oduwa Coin. Since being listed on coin payments, you can exchange your Bitcoin for Oduwa Coin on coin payments at the market rate. And you can also buy Oduwa Coin in a number of exchanges. There's a number of exchanges like P2P, B2B, a peer-to-peer platform, that you can buy your Oduwa Coin. Now, and of course, I will share the link if you want the discount. If you want the discounted coin, I'll get that for you. Okay, so we're about to launch that today. There's a webinar tonight, which I'll talk about at the end. So Bloomberg Business have featured the founder of Oduwa Coin, Mr. Bright Enabulele. He's the visionary Oduwa Coin creator, and he is at the forefront of growing this Oduwa community. I call it the Oduwa Kingdom, because it cuts across the whole entire African diaspora and the continent. And our beautiful Dr. Arikana is supporting and endorsing Oduwa Coin as the Pan-African cryptocurrency for Africa. So we are at the forefront of the biggest project, the biggest Pan-African project that has ever existed, because the power of the blockchain is just, indescribable. The potential goes far and beyond what we could even think about today. Okay, and so to have our own space, our own African space made by Africans for Africans in the digital era, have our own blockchain is monumental. And so to have Dr. Arikana as well support Oduwa Coin, we will be running monthly events for her members, for ADDI members, and they are running a special promotion as well if you want to become an ADDI member also. So Oduwa Coin is international, it's global, and it's empowering both merchants and shoppers in Africa and abroad. Okay, so people can, business owners can plug in their Oduwa Pay wallet or their Oduwa Pay account into your ecosystem, into your website, into your shopping cart, and you can actually start accepting Oduwa Coin. So when you start accepting Oduwa Coin, that will become a very powerful way for you to not only save on any credit card fees and what have you, but you will also be growing your asset, your Oduwa Coin asset bank. Now, let's have I think we
Thanks for taking the time to listen to this great financial inclusion solution for Africa. Please go to www.oduwacoin.io, join a community on Telegram, and learn how to mine and use Oduwa.
Okay, so that's Oduwa Coin. Now, it's not the full presentation. I do the full presentation every Thursday. So I'm on tonight at 8:30 UK time, where you'll meet the founders. You will meet the people behind Oduwa Coin. We have an open session, so you can have questions and a Q&A. So that's every Thursday. We're there every Thursday at 8:30 UK time for Oduwa Coin. And of course, I will share the link for the discounted coin where you can get a discount on your Oduwa Coin, okay? And so we're here to build a better world together. And so that's what we're going to do. And so moving swiftly on, because I'm conscious of time, my other business that I'm into is Cash FX, CFX. Now, why is all there so much talk about CFX? I'm sure some of you may have heard about CFX over and over and over again from different people. Well, the reason why everyone is so excited about CFX is because we get paid every day, every Saturday, without fail. Yes, take action. Action takers, as they say, make the most money. So CFX is a company that values transparency, honesty, and respect to all members. We believe these values are key to establishing a long-term successful partnership. So that's why so many members are still with CFX and are sharing the opportunity because it's making their money work for them. They're doing very well in CFX, and they have a goal of empowering. Last year, they had a goal of empowering 100,000 families, and they smashed it. Right now, we have a membership of 200,000 people all over the world, and we even have a billionaire as a member who spent money on his legal team to investigate CFX, and the CFX came up trumps, and so Janja, the billionaire, multi-billionaire businessman, joined CFX 2 weeks ago. He doesn't need the money, but he still saw the value in the company, and no doubt he'll be using CFX as a vehicle leverage to help others. Okay, so the success is achieved by a combination of live professionals and proprietary technology.
I'm very, very happy to win $100 of Bitcoin from Cash FX. And I think this will be my starting point. I have to start up. I have to join Cash FX.
Hello, everyone. This is Carla from Mexico City. I'm the proud winner of $100 in Bitcoin from last Saturday's webinar. I would very much invite you to come over and watch the videos. This is the easiest, smartest investment that I plan to make, and it looks like we're going to be very successful with it. Congratulations, everyone.
How's it, guys? I'm the winner of $100 Bitcoin with Cash FX. Guys, I can't stress how happy I am. Fantastic opportunity. $100 in my pocket, an opportunity that I never thought I would receive. Guys, I don't win much. I don't win competitions, but I won $100 in Bitcoin with Cash FX. Fantastic opportunity, fantastic people that you're working with. Their idea is insane. Awesome Zoom calls, 100% world-class quality presentations that they offer you. Guys, don't miss out. Like I said, I can't stress enough, opportunity of a lifetime. Thanks to everybody that got me involved. You know who you are, and have an awesome day.
Hi guys, I just won $100 worth of Bitcoin from Cash FX. And if you don't know what Cash FX is, you can join their webinars and they'll let you know all about it. And I can't wait. This is such an amazing opportunity. I can't wait to use those $100 in Bitcoin for my first package. And yeah, it's an amazing opportunity, guys. If you haven't heard, Cash FX is the way to go.
Okay, so the Bitcoin giveaway is actually changing a lot of people's lives. They've been giving away $300 contracts, trading and academy contracts for about a year now. Well over $100,000, I think they've given away. And those people, some of them have not gone on to invite people to the business. They've been a bear. And some of them have gone on to really excel and become an executive and become financially free. And so what CFX does is it gives people, it satisfies both types of people. You get people that don't know anything about trading, Forex trading, they want to get involved, they don't know how to, but they want to get a piece of the action. And so CFX caters for those types of people. And it also caters for the professional traders. We have a number of professional traders in CFX right now who are benefiting from CFX with the knowledge that if they have an off day, that they're still going to get their percentage profits from CashFX that day. Every day, Monday to Friday, the traders are trading for us. Okay, so CFX is a trading academy primarily. It's the academy courses are split into three. You have the elemental series, the advanced professional series, and the supreme series. And so depending on what pack you purchase is where you end, what unlocks each course, each series, okay? When you're a builder, if you're a business builder and you really want to make some really good money out of this business, for example, there are a number of people that have gotten from $300 pack, which is the basic package, all the way to the $100,000 pack, okay, without paying any extra money into the business. And so as a builder, there are a number of bonuses that we get paid. We get paid a number of bonuses. There's the fast start bonus, the uni level bonus, which is a very powerful bonus, and the matrix, which is even more powerful. So I don't want to go too much into the mechanics of it, but the forced matrix has the potential of giving you financial freedom on its own over the long term. Because if this is you at the top and you're not introducing someone, even if you're not introducing someone, somebody above you will be. And eventually people are going to start appearing under you in your matrix. It's a 3 by 10. It goes down to 10 levels. There's a maximum of 88,572 positions in your 3 by 10 matrix. So on the first 3 lines, you get 3% of everyone's withdrawal fee. People may have heard about CashFX 20% withdrawal fee. Oh, it's too much. Oh, they're just taking the money back. No, this is not profit for CashFX. That 20% is a unique and deliberate strategy to create constant residual reward. Now, when your matrix starts filling up, every position on your level 1, 2, and 3, you receive 3% of their withdrawal fee, of their 20%. When you've got, and there's 27 positions on your level 3, when you get to level 4, you've got 81 positions on your level 4, and that gives you 5% of your withdrawal fee. So this is a passive income, and this is a bear. This is a bear capital. This means that whether you're introducing people or not, your matrix will eventually start to fill up, okay? But if you introduce people, it will fill up faster, obviously. If you introduce people, you will get a 10% matching bonus whenever any of those people receive a matrix bonus. Now, the matrix is determined on the package that you're on. It's not determined on how many people you invite. So with the $300 and $500 package, that unlocks levels 1, 2, and 3, and which is 39 positions, and you get 3% of everyone's withdrawal fee in that 39 position. With the 1K pack now, it unlocks level 4. And so you get paid, and on level 4 alone, there are 81 positions. So you will receive 5% of everybody's withdrawal fee on your level 4. On your level 5, when you're on the 2K pack, it's 6%, and there are 243 positions, all withdrawing money, whether it's $100, $1,000, or even $10,000. Imagine what the withdrawal fee on a $10,000 withdrawal is going to be. And you will receive 5, 3, 6, 10%, wherever these people fall on your matrix, that's where you're going to get your withdrawal fee. And it comes in like clockwork. You get paid this matrix bonus on the 1st and the 16th of every month. We get the trading profits every Saturday. And so we're so excited because, you know, the company is just giving. So part of the withdrawal fee as well goes into a fund that finances the leadership prizes. And so as a leader, to get on the leadership program, the first stage is to get 3 recruits and to generate $50,000 worth of business in 30 days in your entire organization. So not just you alone, but anyone you recruit, anyone they recruit, anybody in your organization, when they recruit somebody or upgrade, then you will get the points which will help you to get onto the leadership program. Okay, and so the top prize, the first prize is an iPad or $675 worth of Bitcoin. The second prize is a Rolex watch, which is priced at $10,000, or you get $7,500 when you get to manager. When you get to director, you get a holiday for 2 first class worth $15,000, or 75% of that value in Bitcoin. And then the first supercar prize is to get to, when you get to president, you get a Porsche. You get a Porsche, and you don't get a lease. Like other companies, they give you the lease, and then when you leave the company, or if you drop a rank, you lose the prize. No, once you achieve the rank, whether you fall back or not, you will qualify for your Porsche or $75,000 in Bitcoin. The next prize is the Ferrari at $300,000. Worth $300,000, or you take $75,000 in cash in Bitcoin, or the Lamborghini at estimated worth of $500,000. Okay, so I haven't given you the full presentation. The reason for that is because we have a number of global webinars. We have one coming up today at 7 o'clock this evening, as well as one at 8 o'clock, the Bitcoin giveaway at 8 o'clock. So for people that cannot afford to join, they can always tune into the Bitcoin giveaway every day, Monday to Saturday, and try their luck and see if they can win their Bitcoin contract. Now, you will find out more about the business and the company and the people behind the business at the global webinar. But what I can say to you from my own experience is that since I joined the business, coming up to 1 year now, it'll be 1 year end of April, you know, every Saturday I've received the pay. I've been paid every Saturday without fail. Not only that, they've grown. Their services have grown, so we now do copy trading, so we can copy the trades as well as benefit from our academy and trading pack. And also there are a number of things happening. Hopefully once we get released from this lockdown condition, and hopefully there'll be no restrictions on travel, you know, we will be able to go to the offices in Panama for the official opening of the offices. There were people that went to the offices in November 2019, and they saw the office in Panama that has been purchased by CashFX. They don't lease, they purchase. And so that's been purchased by them just before in November, and then there was the lockdown. So we was meant to have our anniversary there as well. And so, yes, so CashFX is definitely a legacy company. It's built to last. Their legal team were the former advisors to the SEC, the former legal litigators for the Securities and Exchange Commission in New York. And so they know anything that they need to know about cryptocurrency. Now, I've just seen in the chat that there's Al, thanks for that. There are controls with cryptocurrency. Yeah, there are a few controls with regards to exchanges. The exchanges are controlled because they are individuals, they are registered companies, you know, so there's a director, board of directors, they're people that the authorities can target and harass. So yes, there are controls in that respect. Likewise, with all the people that created anything, those individuals will be on the government watch list, no doubt. You know, founder of Ethereum, founder of Tron, founder of Oduwa coin, you know, they will be on their watch list because cryptocurrency is about to delete them, delete their control that they have on our pocket and on our financial, our ability to generate wealth, generational wealth. So they are targeted and they will be persecuted. Look at Ripple. Ripple works with the banks. Okay, they provide the banking system with borderless transaction system. Okay, transaction payment system. Yet it was not enough to, you know, for the New York SEC. They still have launched a court case against them. So yes, there are, you know, controls in certain areas where you're talking about exchanges, where they're registered businesses and individuals, you know, that can be targeted. Yes, those are the controls. However, with Bitcoin, there is no control because nobody knows who created Bitcoin. So the SEC cannot go and find the person and then start harassing them, okay, and put them in court. So with Bitcoin, it's a different kettle of fish altogether because with Bitcoin, there's nobody, no person, no individual or company that the authorities can persecute. Okay, so they cannot control Bitcoin. Bitcoin is here to stay. You cannot switch it off. You cannot delete Bitcoin, and you cannot stop people selling directly with each other. Okay, so what happens in Nigeria, for example, when the central banks banned their banks from communicating with crypto exchanges, what they are now doing is doing peer-to-peer. Peer-to-peer. You're going to hear a lot about peer-to-peer in the crypto environment. So peer-to-peer, you basically have someone who wants to sell Bitcoin and someone who wants to buy Bitcoin, and they get together and they barter. Yeah, we're back to bartering. Okay, but this time we're bartering with cryptocurrency, and there's nothing the authorities can do about it. Okay, absolutely nothing, unless you have a situation where we cannot send fiat currency to each other. Okay, so as long as you can send money, fiat currency, from your bank account to someone else's bank account, there's absolutely nothing they can do about it. Okay, now, just to address the second question, that there are 4,234 cryptocurrencies. Oduwa capitalization is $2.5 million. Bitcoin is $1 trillion. What prevents the owners from withdrawing their money? There's nothing that prevents anybody from withdrawing their money. You can always sell your Oduwa coin on any exchange, or if you like, on a peer-to-peer basis. So there's nothing stopping people that own Oduwa coin from selling their Oduwa coin. But selling their Oduwa coin is not a smart thing to do. Because if you imagine you got into Bitcoin today, I think Oduwa coin, I haven't checked how much it is, I think it's probably around 60 cents, 61 cents, something like that. And imagine if you got into Bitcoin when it was 61 cents 10 years ago. Where would we be now? Like gazillionaires, you know? So you have to look at it at that perspective, because Oduwa is positioned, in fact, to be the #1 cryptocurrency for Africa and for African people. It's very powerful. People are looking for autonomy, and this is what Oduwa gives us. It has its own blockchain and its own cryptocurrency. And so imagine if every African on the continent and in the diaspora adopts Oduwa coin. Okay, what would happen? Remember, we only have 21 million Oduwa coin. And so this is where we need to focus our minds. Think about the future. You know, there's nothing, we just have to look at what happened with Bitcoin, where people who purchased Bitcoin early on, they held on to their Bitcoin. They didn't sell it when it slumped from $1,000 back to $100. They didn't sell their Bitcoin when it slumped from $20,000 to $3,000, and they're not going to sell their Bitcoin now. They're in it for the long haul. And in fact, when the best way to do it is when you do get a parabolic rise, like we've seen with Bitcoin, to $50,000, you just shave off a bit. You do the manual scalping. Thank you. Thank you very much, Alf. Oduwa coin is this morning is 51.9%. Sorry, 51.9 cents. So $0.519. And one Bitcoin exactly is $49,553. So you see, that's why Oduwa presents an even greater opportunity, because we can invest in Oduwa coin and enjoy the rise. Yes, exactly. It's not going to take, it's not going to be an overnight, one day you buy Oduwa, tomorrow you're a millionaire. You have to be realistic in what to expect. So right now in the market, we've seen a very big rise. We're now looking at a bearish slump, not a slump, but a reversal. And we're waiting and watching to see what happens this year, because we know that the market has had a lot of extra institutional money coming into the market. And so we know that Bitcoin is going to rise even further, and it's going to take all of the alternative coins with it. Okay, so even though Bitcoin is $50,000, there are so many more opportunities out there that give you a percentage gain that will far outperform Bitcoin. Okay, and so so that's what we need to understand. So is it open coinable? I don't understand the meaning of the question. Is it open coinable? Who asked that question? Premium Bells. Yeah, can you unmute?
Yeah, sorry, I typed it wrong. I was just asking if it's on Coinbase.
Oh, okay, no problem. It's not on Coinbase yet. It's on Crex24. It's on Coin Payments, and about 3 other exchanges. P2P, B2B is another good exchange. And it's going to be launched on the major exchanges as soon as we get the volume up. You know, the success of Bitcoin was because people adopted Bitcoin. It didn't get to $50,000 because nobody bought it. You know, it's only got there because people bought Bitcoin and held on to it. And so we need to buy Bitcoin. We need to buy Oduwa coin. We need to buy Oduwa coin and hold on to it for at least 5 to 10 years. Let's get to that mindset. And during the 5 to 10 years, we're going to be mining. We're going to be mining, because if you imagine how much money the early miners, the early Bitcoin miners, what they're making today, it will blow your mind. and that's just Bitcoin, much less Ethereum. Okay, now Ethereum has some challenges in terms of mining fees. And one of the things that, and even Bitcoin transaction fee is getting high, like $25 per fee, and so per transaction. And so Oduwa eliminates all that. When we have Oduwa coin, you don't have any transaction fees when you're sending Oduwa coin. From exchange, it's about 11 Oduwa coin. It's really cheap, which is far less than $1. Okay, and so yeah, it's going to be launched in a number of exchanges very soon. So when that happens, obviously there will be an increase in the price, and we will look forward to the initial sell-off that will inevitably take place. One of the things that I've learned over the years is that when you have a new asset, whether it's a cryptocurrency or a stock, when you've got a large volume of pre-IPO shares available, inevitably when it lists, people sell their shares. A lot of people capitalize as soon as they list, and that's what will force the price down. And so when it hits the bottom, you just buy some more. And so this is why we always say, don't invest with money you need, invest with money you can afford to lose, so that you don't miss it. Because when you put it in, you're putting it in for the long term. You're not putting it in for here today, gone tomorrow. Okay, so if you want more information about Oduwa coin, do join me tonight at 8:30. I will send Dawn, I'll send you the link for Oduwa coin presentation. You can watch the full presentation and watch the and meet the founders, and which is hardly ever done, so we can get to speak to the co-founders of Oduwa coin. And see the community. Also, what else was I going to say? Yes, so that's at 8:30 tonight. There's a Bitcoin giveaway at 8 o'clock. If anyone is interested in the Bitcoin giveaway. Otherwise, do attend the 7 o'clock webinar with Pauline and Monica. Pauline is a trailblazer. She's actually a director in CashFX. She sacked her boss. And she now works for herself. And yes, thank you. Oh wow, what's going on in the market? I'm missing something. This is the thing. When you're trading, you have to be on the screen and focus and watch everything that goes on for the daily trading. And that's why I love CashFX. I daily traded for many years, and it's exhausting. It's really hard work. It's not easy, I tell you. And so you have to, and it's mentally draining because you're constantly thinking, oh, what's coming next? What's happening now? Where's the chart going? Let me look at the analysis. Oh, let me look at the 4-hour chart. What's the daily chart saying? What's the 15-minute chart saying? Thank you.
Okay, Celine, can you stop sharing your screen now?
Yes, let me do that. There you go. Thank you.
Right. So, Celine, I can see why they call you the crypto queen. You could talk about this for days. Huh?
Yes, I can.
You studied this inside and out.
Yes, that's
All
right.
right. So let me just summarize what is being discussed today. We had Premium Bells talk about Forex trading and Bitcoins. If you want to learn how to Forex trade, he uses various methods, then you can contact him directly at Premium Bells on Instagram, or I will put his details underneath this video. And then we had the crypto queen, Celine herself, talking about Oduwa coins, all right, which you can buy at 55 cents per coin, which seems pretty reasonable. Really, anybody can buy 10 of them or 20 of them and just sit on it for 3 to 5 years. and see what happens, or you can buy thousands if you want. That's what happened with cryptocurrencies when they first come out. They're extremely cheap. There was a time when Bitcoin was 0.2 cents or something to that effect. Look at it now, it's worth nearly $60,000 for one Bitcoin. It's just amazing. Keeps going up or down, but if you invested from early, you'd be laughing now. You could just sit on the beach all day and relax and just watch your money go up and up and up. So it's an interesting situation, and the way that the world is going crypto now, and governments aren't quite sure what to make of it. They haven't quite got around to regulating it yet. They're a bit behind with the technology, but I can guarantee they're going to catch up with it soon, and then there's going to be some laws in place to perhaps even control the amount of new cryptocurrencies that are coming out every month. I think Alfred just put a message on the screen saying there were over 4,000 cryptocurrencies now. So the thing is, I believe Premium Bell earlier on was saying that, you've got to look behind the scenes. If you're thinking of investing in a cryptocurrency, it might be out there for 5 cents. So you think, oh yeah, let me get 100 of those. But look, who's behind the currency? What projects are they doing? Do you feel that it's going to be something that lasts for a long time, or is it going to disappear? Because some of these cryptocurrencies do disappear. All right. There's some people who are founders of cryptocurrencies. Some of them have ended up in jail or been accused of fraud. So you do have to do your due diligence. How do you do your due diligence, Premium Bell, when you're looking to invest?
Like I said, I'm pretty lucky to have sort of mentors that I've been for the last 10 years. And so a lot of your due diligence is being networked with the right people. There's a lot of information online, and I think it's a lot more about who you know, rather than the information you're looking at online. If you're working with trusted individuals that have a proven track record in what they're invested into, then of course that makes it a lot easier for you to make your own decisions. But at the end of the day, you should always be investing money that you're willing to lose, and that's the bottom line. So that's what I'd say. So
in other words, don't spend £50 this week and expect to get it out next month.
No, definitely not. It's a long-term game.
Yeah, it's a long-term game. 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. You hold on to it. But there is a difference, though, if you're trading with it, because it sounds like they're encouraging merchants to accept Oduwa coins, for instance, or to sell your product using Oduwa coins. So then it becomes a little different, because then you're not holding on to it. You're using it as money in a kind of a bartering system. So that's interesting, because if we as Black business owners decide that, okay, yes, we're going to accept Oduwa coins as payment, well, then you're not holding on to it. You're really just working in a different financial ecosystem. And that in itself is interesting to see how that will work out. The other thing mentioned was cash FX or CFX from Celilne. This is a situation where you can hand over your money to a company, say $300, and they will invest it for you. And you say it grows at 1% per day, that means you would be getting $3 per day growth on that $300. So at the end of the week. Sorry.
Yeah. Let me just explain it a bit more. The trading pack that you pay, the $300, 70% of that is used for the trading pool. So $210 is what's used to trade with.
Okay.
Yes, and $90 is used for purchasing the academy. So it's always 70% on the trading pool and 30% on the academy product.
Okay. Yeah. So is that a one-off payment to start, or is that a monthly payment?
No, that's a one-off payment. You're purchasing a product. So you're purchasing the Academy product and the trading comes in as a bonus. Okay, so the higher the trading pack, the more courses you unlock on the Academy. And so, yes, but every trading pack is split 70% on the trading pool, goes into the trading pool, and 30% is used for the Academy.
So really, you could be teaching yourself to trade at the Academy, or you could be getting an MBA, say. Is that right?
The MBA is for the Oduwa Institute. The Oduwa Institute runs the online MBA program. With CFX, you have a trading course, an academy that teaches you how to trade the Forex market. You don't have to take the course. It's there if you want it. But CashFX is a trading academy. So that's how it's structured.
Yeah. Okay. So what are the multipliers? So what you can get in at $300, what are the other figures you can get in at?
Yeah, you can get in at $300 pack, $500 pack, $1,000 pack, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, all the way up to $100,000.
Okay.
So a lot of people start on the $300 pack and work their way up to the $100,000 pack, just as a challenge. They can afford to do more, but they just start at $300 and then they work their way up because they know that they're going to share the business, you know, because when you share the business, you make money really fast. And you can upgrade all the way up with using your profits. So with the $300 pack, the most you can make on the bare capital passively, you can make a maximum of 200% of the value of your pack. So you can make $600 on the bare capital side. We call it bare capital because that's where people are not sharing. They're moving really slow, so they're a bear, you know, so that's for hibernators, for people that are not recruiting. So everyone has bare capital. Everyone that joins, you get paid passive income. And then when you introduce someone, it actually gives you another 200%. So you can earn another $600 on your $300 pack. You know, so if you were recruiting slowly as the trading packs are giving you profit for passive profit, then you could earn a potential 400% off your initial investment if you spread it across the full term, you know. But if you're recruiting fast, you could have enough to upgrade the following day or the following week, you know, because commission is one of the best in the business, you know. So yeah, so that's what you can do. I think my phone is about to die. Hold on. Yeah, I just need to plug in my phone. Sorry, and my charger's all the way over there.
Okay, that's fine. We're about to finish now. Alf,
great.
Do you have any points you'd like to make?
I think it's very interesting indeed. The data is compelling. I think the indications are that it's a space where individuals should seriously consider probably moving money from stocks and shares into this kind of area, because investment in stocks and shares historically has been good because of tax breaks provided by the government, right, you know, etc. And so I've had BT shares that's been sitting there for something like 10 or 15 years, right, you know, and historically, yes, as Premium Bell has actually pointed out, you only put in what you can lose, okay? So this was a stuff that was given, it's not my sweat blood, right, or anything like that, you know. So the indications are that if it was in Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency, as long as the currency owners or trading entity is reliable in terms of the due diligence that's been done on it, right? You know, I think it's definitely something that's worth considering.
Yes, I agree. And in terms of spreading the risk as well, I think it's good to have funds, yes, in stocks and shares to a limited extent, and yes, have some in the bank, and yes, have some in Bitcoins, and yes, have some in other smaller cryptocurrencies. And if you've got the time to learn how to trade, then, you know, you can work with Premium Bells and his organization in terms of learning Forex. But if you don't have the time to trade, you'd be best in Cash FX and CFX, as Celilne said, where you give them the money and they trade on your behalf, and you just watch that money go. Those are the options, really.
Yeah, because the pension companies have started moving out of shares quite a while back, right? And so I think even recently they've called Shell to notify them that because they have not provided a reasonable green vision, they're threatening to take their capital investment out of Shell, you know, the global company, and move it somewhere else, right? You know, so once the real big boys are actually moving at that kind of pace, that's a clear indication that the norm is changing significantly.
Well, I'll tell you where the winning areas seem to be, certainly in stocks and shares, biotechs and green energy. And
green energy will be there for quite a few years, okay? Yeah. Because it's at the, this is just my interpretation, by the way. I'm not recommending anyone to adhere to it. Yeah, it's at a interesting switching point because there is a library stroke catalog of R&D that's yet to hit the market. That means that if one is considering on the stocks and shares angle, yes, go for the biotech, like say, etc., because of what's happened with the coronavirus, and obviously energy. And even on the energy space, the oil companies have actually moved out of oil from that perspective. They want to be known as, a green company. Because most of their investment is now in renewable energy and carbon neutral projects.
Yeah.
As well, right? You know, so yes, those two are, from my interpretation of information I've got access to, they're relatively low-hanging fruits.
Okay, well, thank you very much, everybody. I think we've got food for thought. I will be putting the links at the bottom of the video for anybody who wants to contact either Premium Bells or Crypto Celilne, the Crypto Queen. You know, there were 3 options basically given, and we would encourage you to do your own due diligence. We'll put a disclaimer that's saying we're not giving financial advice, so don't assume that if you do what we say, you're going to become a millionaire tomorrow, because that might not be the case. All right. It's not impossible, but who knows? There's so many different factors in this. Please do your due diligence, research, check out the links that we're giving, but also research elsewhere. And if you have comments or suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments underneath the video as well. Thank you for listening. And
one final question.
Yes, Alf, go on.
Premium Bell, the price of the Oduwa has actually gone up greater than 10% during this presentation. It's actually gone past 0.6. It's currently on 0.60. Started, it was it 0.51. Is that the kind of item that you would consider?
That's quite normal for a coin of that price to move at that speed. The cheaper they are, the quicker the growth and the compound. Whereas let's say Bitcoin is worth, let's say 50K, for it to grow you know, by 10%, it would need to grow by 5,000. Whereas for this coin to grow by 10%, it would need to only grow by a couple of couple of pennies. But that's quite normal to see that, you know, it grow at that speed.
Great.
Okay.
I'd definitely like to talk to you offline.
For sure. Yeah, we can
Okay, great. Wonderful. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right.
We'll see you again. We'll see you again soon. They won't hear that, but I want them to know that there are events that happen every week and in some cases every day.
Yes.
So if I just give them a link to your website or your social media.
Yes. If you give them the link,
they can connect.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you both.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.